We all know the holidays may be the most wonderful time of the year, but let's be honest for a second. It can also be the most expensive.
So maybe you're a little stressed out about how you're going to be able to afford everything over these next couple of months. And trust me, you are not alone. There's a new consumer survey from Minneapolis-based financial services company Thrivent found that 65% of Americans have some level of concern about their upcoming holiday finances. 23% say they are very concerned. Despite these worries, 35% of Americans don't typically create a budget during the holidays, and of course, this can lead to that overspending. So this morning, we're joined by Schinka, a financial advisor with Thrivent, here to help tackle this problem. Autumn, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so why don't we just start with, we just talked about not creating a budget is one of the reasons that we're overspending, but what are some of the other ones that people are starting to feel a little overwhelmed already?
Well, everything is just so expensive.
Right.
As a family of four, I can't get out of the grocery store with two teenagers under $200 sometimes. Go fill up my gas tank, and that's $50.
Yeah.
You go out to dinner as a family, and that's $50 to $100. Everything is really expensive. And then a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. And so what's coming in for income and what's going out for expenses, there's just not a lot of wiggle room already. And then you add holiday spending on top of that. And then also just credit card balances. People carry credit card balances. These interest rates are sometimes 20 to 30%.
Yeah. Right.
So they're trying to get these credit card balances down, but they're just hitting the interest and not the principal. Now here comes the holidays.
So a lot of people are in the situation that you just described, right? So what are people supposed to do in these situations? How would you navigate through this?
Well, they'd have to start with a spending plan. And I like that word versus budget, because budget sounds so restrictive.
Yeah.
So it's fun to give and spend money during the holiday and folks. And so we have to put pen to paper, or maybe it's Excel spreadsheet if that's what you like to use. And we have to figure out what are we spending in all these different categories. And then within there, add another line item, of course, for the holidays. Who do we need to buy gifts for? Who do we want, and then also how much do we want to spend on each person? And maybe that means going and having a conversation with those folks that you're exchanging with this year and saying, you know, I have these financial goals that I've been trying to achieve throughout the year, and I want to make sure that I don't get off track for those. And so what can we level set as kind of an amount that feels good, right? The other idea is no spend November. I think this is a great idea for folks. So say you are already used to spending $300 on entertainment and eating out as a family. Maybe this month you challenge yourself to pause on that, stay home as much as you can, and then deploy that cash towards holiday spending.
That's a great idea.
That's a good idea.
Right?
Yeah. Really
and then, you know, giving is so much fun, but it is really hard to give without a plan. And so I am like this. I feel like I want to give more and I want to spend more, but it takes a little bit of joy out if you don't have a plan and you're not sure if you can afford to spend. So pen to paper and make sure that that giving is in line with your financial goals.
So pen to paper, it certainly sounds easy enough to do, but it's not. It's to be honest with you, it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, this is part of the reason Thrivent exists, right? So I'm wondering, what kind of resources for people that just seemed overwhelmed by all of this do you suggest they start with?
There are so many great spending plan apps out there. And the best ones, I think, are the ones that you can link your checking account or your credit card securely to. And as these transactions show up as you're spending, you can slide them over into those categories you've set up. So if you've set up a category for $800 a month for groceries and you go to the grocery store and spend $200, slide that transaction over. Now you have $600 left for the month. So those apps are great. You don't have to go at this alone. There are people like me, financial advisors, that get on his or her calendar and get down to the basics. How much is coming in and how much is going out. So, and then lastly, I would say there are some great free resources out there. Thrivent has this great online resource called Money Canvas, and you can go online with a budgeting coach. That accountability partner is huge to just focus on your finances and put that plan in place. And so I think that Money Canvas resource is a great underutilized resource.
You know, we were talking about the survey before. I found this really interesting. Gen Z and millennials are most concerned about their spending. Why is that?
I just think that we live in the moment,
Yeah.
right? And we just don't pay attention. And so we just really have to put that pen to paper, pay attention. Hey, we're on our phones all the time. Might as well get a great app and utilize that.
Right. I mean, that's part of the reason we're on our phones all the time, and they're trying to sell us this stuff too. And I also wonder too, you know, with the student loan payments resuming now,
that's a big
that's
part
a
of
big
it.
chunk.
Absolutely.
Right there,
Those are
too.
starting back up and people are feeling it.
Pen to paper, actually coming up with the plan and following through with the plan too. Anyone can say they're going to put pen to paper, but I
Right.
think it's actually doing it, sitting down and actually doing it, that's going to be key to making sure your spending is under control.
Absolutely.
All right. Autumn, well, thank you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yes. Thanks for having me.